Hello, and Joyce Odidison here in the Legacy Building podcast. And today we are going to talk about integrity. So, one of the things we know is that in order to build legacy, we need to be taking consistent action. And those could be actions for good, or they could be actions that are not good. Whatever we do is going to leave a legacy. And this weekend, I was at a funeral with a friend of mine. Her mom passed away at 86 years old. And, she's my namesake. Like, we have the same name. Her name was Joyce. And I looked at that funeral and the compliments, it just shed what an amazing light on that family. And she was known as a woman of prayer and a woman of abundant love, and they talk about her love with her husband and how they loved each other. And I thought, what a legacy for those children and grandchildren. What an amazing legacy she left. And it's like anything else. Whatever you do will be your legacy. So this woman is gone, but what she leaves behind is just such strong bonds, such amazing memories and legacies on giving and loving and cherishing and sharing. And it was so amazing sitting in that funeral. Like it was a celebration of life. Her grandchildren and great grandchildren were there, and the grandchildren were talking about how she got them to pray and taught them to be good and to behave. And I was just like, wow, but she did it with such a loving way. And no matter what they did, they could come home and she would be there, and her door was always open to them. And I thought, wow, that is so amazing. So amazing. And so I'm curious for you. When you die, what will be your legacy? And I mean, we don't have to wait until we die to leave a legacy. That's the beautiful thing about it. We can build our legacy now and inherit that legacy. Everything you do is going to follow you. The legacy is for today. You can do things now and build a legacy. That is what we call personal branding. That is amazing because so many people are catching on now, but there are still millions of people who have no clue about their personal brand. And they forget that their personal brand is their legacy. Funny, I was at a workshop and the presenter was talking. He was like, look, Will Smith is doing Facebook and tweeting and blah, blah, blah. And this, and it's sort of like, why are they doing it? Because they want to maintain their personal brand. And I'm like, yes, their personal brand is all you have while you are alive here, while you're on this planet, right? And we're not at your funeral. You have the ability to create that personal brand here and have that talk for you. So sometimes we think it's what we say, but it's what we do, right? It's what we do and how we show up. That's the legacy. That's what we're building. So you want to show up late, then that's the legacy you're building. You want to show up on time, that's the legacy you're building. You want to show up with courage, that's the legacy. You want to show up broken, that's the legacy you're going to live. So you have to decide today what is your brand. So your brand is consistent, it's moving forward, it's moving past, it's consistently growing, learning, stretching beyond what you thought was possible. That's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's building those legacies. It's doing the things you know that's right for you. the things that is a true reflection on you. So today I was recording the courses on spiritual integrity. So I did this course that it's an e-learning course on integrity and spiritual wellness, and giving my audience and my students the opportunity to grow in this particular competency and in this particular dimension. And some of the things we talked about in this course is that integrity with self. And part of that is understanding your values. So when you know what your values are, the next step is, how am I going to live in alignment with them? Because what you don't know can harm you, right? What you don't know can control you. It's really important to get to know what your values are. Because if your values are something that you don't know what they are, and you haven't really take time to reflect on what they are and how they show up in your life and how regularly they show up and how they're impacting you and others, then your life is an accident, right? You're not living purposefully. So the other thing we talk about is purpose. When we have a purpose, then we build legacy. When we have values align with purpose. Purpose does reflect in values, vice versa. So based on our purpose, we will have values that align with our purpose. And that alignment will give birth to consistent actions. And those consistent actions is going to give birth to your legacy, your character, the essence of you, what you leave behind. It is so very important for us to do that. To live in peace with others, to be kind to others, to show others continued love, support, encouragement, and grace. Even when people are doing things to you that their conscience is telling them they shouldn't, you should still treat them with grace and dignity. Because that's what you do. So many times, people do things and they expect you to treat them the way they treat you. They're expecting you to abuse them or shame them or rub it in their face. And you just have to live a different way, with class. You have to live with a sense of purpose. You have to live with a sense of who you are and not let anything mess around with your ability to create that legacy. Because this show is entirely about legacy building. And that's what I am committed to do. So whether it's in your work, where I do work, play, helping people to work well, whether it's in play, where I help people with life, play well, have good relationships, whether it's in business, helping you to have that business strategy to do business well. So work well, live well, play well. That is a legacy. You have such a short time. One of the things that I was looking at at the funeral, the husband is broken. They've had 55 years together. And what he's thinking is like, it was too short. It wasn't enough. I want another 55 years with you. And I'm thinking, wow. Time goes by so quickly, and we have such a short time to build our legacy. We need to get on it. We need to sleep less, eat less, work out more, think more, act more, build more legacy, because our legacies are built one day at a time. And that, my friend, is what you're going to leave behind. That, my friend, is what you're going to leave, the essence that you're going to leave behind. That's what your grandchildren are going to remember you for. That's what your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, all your network. your people at your church, your people in your club, your people in your work. That's what they're going to remember, that legacy that you leave behind. So is it one of integrity? Is it one of purpose? Is it one of consistency? Whatever it is, you continue to do it and you believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, we build legacy one day at a time. This is Joyce Odidison, Legacy Building Show, joyceodidison.com. Love to hear from you. Join us over at the Legacy Building Show. Leave us a note, a comment on one of my podcasts. Let me know your thoughts. Take care and be well. Bye now.